So hi, one of the Good Noise podcasts here with Moon by Moon. We're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
When did we become a band? It was a slow transition from like project for class into we actually liked working with
Oh,
each other. I think
It was like
like
late
you,
2017, right?
We
yeah. Itai started working with our friend Tom Waterworth, and then I became friends with Tom too. And Tom suggested, like, "Hey, Itai would like to work on music with you." So I was just like, "Okay."
Mhm.
Um, and from there, I think Seb came in to help record or something, and like suggested playing bass, and we just sort of slowly came into this group. We sort of
Yeah.
found each other.
yeah, so I think it was my second semester at UMBC, and I had a friend Tom who was an exchange student from the UK, who was also all of our friend, friends,
Friends.
right.
all of our friends, and then like yeah, so we did some stuff together, and then I was like, let's start a band, and then he was like, okay, and then I think Gabo was just there with Tom while I was texting him and was like, I want to be in on it, and then they both suggested Sebastian to play bass.
Okay.
And that's kind of how it started. As for the name, I had like the name didn't come until later, but I had like a solo project called just the word Moon for a while. And obviously that didn't get like any attention online because there are 300 other artists called Moon, as you can imagine. So
Popular, yeah.
yeah, so I had to. But then I don't know. We were just talking about band names, and a friend suggested because my first EP was called Moon, also like a self-titled EP. So it was like Moon by Moon. So then we were like,
Yeah.
that sounds kind of like. I like the idea of a band name that doesn't really mean anything, but also sort of implies some kind of idea or mood. So that's what the band name.
Okay.
First EP, it was a self-titled. So
Mhm.
actually, you could call it Moon by Moon EP by Moon by Moon. And
That's a
it's
mouthful.
just-
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. It's
a lot.
kind of like tiresome, but like funny in that way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. It sticks
And I
out. It sticks out.
The imagery too, the sound of our band has obviously transformed from our first EP. We are way more like ambient, experimental. I would say like noisy, I guess, or shoegazy than we were at the start. But the kind of imagery that just the name Moon by Moon sort of brings about fits, I think, with our sound, and it always sort of has the dark blue, the gray, the deep like space sort of feeling and tone. We try to bring that into our music as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
really,
actually,
that's really, really cool.
Actually, the original idea for the band was I was like, I want to start a fuzz pop band. That's what I told Tom. I don't know, because I just had some idea that like, oh, I make my own like sort of more like experimental music, and then on the side I'll do like with friends like more like poppy indie pop kind of songs, and that's our first EP is kind of a lot like that. But since then, it's become much more like studio involved and like dense and yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
solid, solid. So, congrats on your upcoming EP, Chelsea. How do you feel about the response to it so far to the people you've shown it to, since at the time of recording, it isn't out yet?
It's been exciting. It's been so much fun to share with people. We've been keeping it just sort of to ourselves for a while. We've had this specific project, this EP, for a little bit, and we've been going over it, revisiting it as time has passed, through quarantine. We've had lots of old stuff to look at, and we took another look at this music that we had, this old stuff we'd recorded, and we were like, why don't we just share it with people? And the feedback we've received so far has been super positive. I feel so like happy that people are receiving it positively and they're enjoying what they're hearing, because we worked for a while on it, so it's good to sort of reap what we have sown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's been fun.
Yeah,
and for this
these
EP,
songs. Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
this EP has been different because we've had so long to like figure out the songs live before we actually went and recorded it. Because for the first, especially for the first EP, it was all recorded before we ever played a show.
Mhm.
So the songs had time to evolve, which is different for this one for us, which was cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
right.
definitely sort of allows our listeners, I guess, to observe how we've transformed as a band. You know, we were studio at first. We didn't really play live that often together. And then, you know, you can hear the difference in, the singles, the little EP that we put out last year. And then with this release, it's like, oh, they have played together a lot. You can hear how the band has just sort of come together. All of our practicing together, I think you can hear that a lot, and it's a shame we can't play these songs live anymore, or
Yeah.
you know, have
For
them
now.
able
Not
to.
anytime
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, though, it's kind of interesting because the songs we were playing on from that first EP were like mostly recorded live as a band because
Yeah.
they were just kind of straightforward rock songs, so we could do that very easily. But as it's kind of gone on, the songs have become more and more like studio arrangements and kind of like building on stuff that way. So we kind of can't play this music. Probably. I mean, Chelsea, the first song, we can and we have for a really long time. But the other two songs, just because of the way they're made, it's like we kind of wanted, I think, to come at it from the perspective of not being limited by what we could actually recreate live and just trying to make cool sounds and mess around in the studio and see what comes out. And I think some of the most exciting stuff we've done this EP and also the last EP we put out was 2 songs. Those we did play live, but we've kind of gone towards more of studio stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
like field recordings and just sort of ambient noise and samples that we've added.
Yeah.
People talking and busy restaurants and things like that. Just background noise, stuff to fill the space in between.
Okay. All right. So before we move along, I actually want to ask about that music video that you sent our way for Soap and how that idea came about.
So,
Yes.
Stars?
Whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I could have
So,
swore the file
we should-
said Soap.
bruh moment.
Bruh. No, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, the song is called Stars.
Okay. So
Stars.
close enough.
Bruh. How'd you get
Yeah.
soap?
Great question.
It's all good. The music video was originally a class project that I guess I sort of took the reins on, and we filmed at on campus at UMBC, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and we took shots. It was during a really weird time in my life, so I had a blow-up mattress in the back of my car at all times, and we took this blow-up mattress around campus and we set it up in spaces in the music building, in spaces outside, just wherever I had an idea, wherever I thought, you know, this is a comfy looking space. Let's put the air mattress here. We had blankets, my childhood teddy bears, a pillow, tiny children's keyboard, I think was Itai's. And Itai played acoustic guitar as well. And we just filmed shots of just what was happening to me at the time, you know? And that was how I felt. I felt like I was living at school in a different way than I had previously. And the song really goes into depth about, you know, how we were all feeling during that time. It was a pretty hard time for all of us, I think, not just me. The band as a whole, we were all experiencing a lot of different really, really serious stuff in our lives. And, you know, when you're going to school, shit gets hard sometimes, especially now with quarantine. Anyone who's still in online school can attest to that. The video was really fun to make. It was really cathartic, and I think it turned out really well. And I think, the reception we've gotten so far about it, the feedback has been so positive. People have really enjoyed watching it, and that makes me feel great because that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want people to get something out of that.
I might have fucked up the song name, but I did enjoy when I watched the video. So that's.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
So can you tell me, is there any meaning behind the cover art or EP name?
I mean, Itai, do you want to?
Yeah, so the EP name is to the song Chelsea,
Mhm.
which I think, well, Gabby basically wrote that song. I mean, we kind of wrote it together, but she had the idea for it and like really started it and wrote most
It
of
was after a visit we took to like the Chelsea area in Brooklyn, like Chelsea Market, the High Line. The three of us as a band, we went with a class on a group trip, but we had a really good experience together, and I wrote music about it, obviously, and we even recorded some like ambient noise, like the noise of the High Line, and we added that into the song, and it's got this really beautiful swell at the beginning, and it features all of the twinkly like talking, and it's like a memory, listening to a memory. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Oh.
I love that so much. Okay. And the cover art?
Yeah, so just one more thing about that. Just
Okay.
because these songs, I mean, all three of these songs were written probably in like a 1-2 month period 2 years ago. So we've had them for a long time, but we've just been working on them, basically, like adding to them over the course of a long time and finishing them. And so on one hand, it's like the EP is really grounded in place and Chelsea and the kind of memories of that time. Yeah, as far as the art, so I guess the art you're talking about is the one I sent. So it's like a photo that my friend Josie took of us. We did a house show, I think, at
was at
Gabo's
David.
apartment.
No, it was at David's.
Oh, it was at David's? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, we did a
So,
house show.
Baltimore Center for Good Friends. World's Greatest Dad has played there. Sonderbombs have played there. Sweet Peach. We've had so many good shows. Equipment has.
I missed
pulled
it so
through.
much.
Yeah.
It was so fun. There was just a period of time where we were kind of getting friends to come play shows and stuff, and then it just all obviously stopped. But
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
really fun.
I miss
so yeah,
David Corsi all
Yeah,
the time.
David, shout out,
And Melvin. Shout out to
Melvin.
Melvin.
David's dog.
dog.
Oh,
But yeah, so the art is just a photo from that that we kind of liked, and I think so. You can kind of, it's really blurry, but you can see a shoulder, which I think I know whose it is. It's just one of our friends, and then I think potentially my hair is in it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
the corner of your head,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your little,
I think so. I'm
isn't
not
it?
sure. Yeah, but basically,
And then I'm like dancing. It's like my hair
Mm.
is whipping. It's a really beautiful photo.
Yeah.
Josie is a great photographer. She takes gorgeous pictures. And the pictures she took of that night, all of them we were looking through for this EP release. We wanted to do something, we always do sort of like that, I don't know what you would call it, like surreal, like soft, super dreamy imagery. We usually do it dark, but for our last EP last summer, we did it a little lighter, and it was still like a horizon. This time, we're just doing, an image that represents how we felt when we were all still together.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
The design of it's a little different too, because the first EP was like this painting that I found that I just really liked, of like these, it was kind of dark and it had like these street lights and cars and stuff, but it was a painting. And then the text that I did, I added the text to it, and we kind of did a similar thing for the next EP. But then this one is kind of a departure from that, just because, I don't know, it looks a little different. But
Yeah. Again, that's super cool. I like almost like your aesthetic for the band. It's so cool, the amount of detail that you guys put in with all the background noise, and it adds such a different layer. It's
It's all about the detail. Yeah,
Exactly.
I love it. Yeah.
Before you
just
go,
using
Glory,
Snapchat.
since you guys said you like changed your sound, would you say that like also changing the whole aesthetic was part of that, or was it just like coincidental?
I think that's definitely a byproduct of changing it, because
Yeah.
you can't stay the same person or the same group of people forever.
We're not gonna. Yeah, I feel like as a group we've always talked about with when you observe other music projects, whether or not they change has a huge effect on how successful they are.
Mhm.
I think a lot of times, and it really depends on the project, but when people are continuing to put out like the same thing because they think that's what people want to hear, and instead they could be exploring literally anything else that they could be actually genuinely wanting to do. Anything
Yeah.
that any art that they are making by themselves, individual of the project, that would be amazing for people to listen to, but they are scared, or it's something else. They don't want to put it out because it doesn't sound the same. I think we have embraced that change a little bit, and I think we've always had an idea that we wanted to be more of like a I don't know, shoegazy. Like we wanted to be experimental from the beginning. We just didn't know how to translate it, or didn't have enough experience at first either to be confident about it.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
think that first EP, I still really like a lot of those songs and stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was sort of us just wanting to be a band and us like trying to figure out how to make a release and like put it together, and in that sense, it was not super unique. Like I like the songs a lot still, but we've definitely gotten a lot more adventurous with how we make stuff. I would say this EP probably more so than ever before, and just because we wanted to sort of one part of it is just trying to have our own identity in music, but also just kind of not limiting ourselves to the preconceptions we have about how it should be made, what kind of thing, and trying.
Yeah. Going with the flow, basically, and seeing what works. Yeah.
We do a lot of that.
Hey, it's working, so
Yeah. Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sick. So, can you tell me about your writing process for this EP?
Well, so we dove into that a little bit. So the first song that was written was Chelsea, and I think it goes in the order that the songs were written.
Really?
EP. Yeah. So it's kind of it's a bit of a timeline. It starts with Chelsea, so we're in New York, and we are all like bonding, and I am just amazed that I have a group of friends at school. Really was what that it was like a really wholesome experience, wholesome college experience. But then Stars is like an amalgamation of the, I don't know how bad things felt at that time. It was a really low point. I think it was October, November 2018.
Yeah, it was pretty much exactly
once-
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago this time. I've been having a lot of memories show up on my Snapchat that I'm either removing entirely or posting to my story for other people to see because they're so good. Like,
I don't even look. I
well,
just like I remember, but I don't look. You know what I mean?
nostalgia is fun sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
Sometimes.
Function brain, like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then Stars was written, and then Something in the Making, the third song on this EP, was kind of like Itai's response to Stars. The two songs sort of coincide. They're one after the other, and they have very similar melodic themes and the experimental, again, ambient noise throughout, but it's a different take on a similar theme, which is really fun, and I'm really excited for people to hear it because it's like two versions of the same song done by the same band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Something in the Making actually originally just verses I wrote for Stars, because we kind of worked together. Actually, probably on all three of these songs, we sort of, to some extent, wrote them together.
I
as a
sent
band.
you demos absolutely as soon as I it popped into my head. I played it on guitar, recorded it, and sent it straight to Itai. And then I think we started a group chat, or already had a group chat, so I sent it that way too. And I was like, okay, this is something we have to do because, like,
You're talking about Stars?
Chelsea,
Or Chelsea,
and then
right,
Stars
Chelsea.
too. Yeah, I think
Stars
I sent
kinda-
Stars
And
to you guys
Yeah.
when I was writing it as well.
Chelsea, I think, was mostly Gabby, and then we kind of just made it into an actual song as a band. But then Stars and Something in the Making were both kind of like we wrote them together.
Yeah, we sat in the studio together
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a long time. And
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
wrote
actually,
that song.
I think the fact that we had at that time so much access, because we're actually all music technology students, or we were at UMBC, so we had a lot of access to the studio, and we just wanted to use it. and we just hung out there a lot of the time, and we're just doing stuff. So like, it kind of gives this music a really studio-based thing, and
It's
like
kind of cleaner than,
Mm.
I don't know, it's cleaner than the music we release individually for certain.
Mhm.
And it has
Right.
this really well mastered quality to it that I cannot achieve on my own
Yeah.
outside of that studio. So it's cool to be able to put it out now instead of like, you know, not being able to have access to the studio like I guess I have. Seb hasn't really. Have you been on campus at all, Seb? Have you been in
One
the
time.
studio? Yeah, I haven't been around at all to use the facility. I don't even know if I would have access anymore anyway. It's a bummer.
But
Yeah.
also, yeah, the arrangements, especially for Stars, the arrangement is just so dense. Like, there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much going on, and it was just us, like, adding layers and layers and layers and layers.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Sebastian on that plays a double bass, which is something we've never done
Oh.
before. And there's, like,
There's
synths,
cello.
there's... I don't think there is cello, no.
Is there?
No, I think you're thinking of a different session, though.
Hmm.
But yeah, but there's the double bass and there's synths and like organ sounds. Gabby had this old chord organ and it was not
Oh, yeah,
like tuned.
chord organ.
So-
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
that was a whole.
It was really
process.
cool. I got this chord organ in like 10th or 11th grade. I bought it for $80 off of my friend who plays bass for Johnny Utah now.
oh,
And yeah, and so Itai took this chord organ and recorded a note, and I guess, did you just record one note and then tune that note up and down, or did you record all the
I
notes?
recorded every single
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
Out of
And
tune,
you tuned them,
I tuned it manually
Mhm.
so that
and then
we
you
Oh my
used a
God.
MIDI controller to actually play
Yeah.
in the song. Very, very
You
cool.
spent like what a whole
very
week
cool.
doing that.
Yeah, it took a
I
lot
probably
of time.
could have just done one note, but the reason I did them all is I like the kind of clicky sounds
Yeah, oh yeah.
of playing it. Oh, but yeah, that took forever and like all of this stuff. But like that is on Something in the Making and also Stars. And then Chelsea is a little different than the other two because we played it live for a long time. It was kind of more like a straight up rock song, and we developed it live. So the beginning part, which has the kind of ambient vocals, is based on what Gabby used to do live with a looper pedal where she would
Yeah.
just loop her voice and yeah.
I had a little, I have an RC20 XL, a looping pedal that I used to use for live shows, still use it for recording and streaming and stuff. But I had a saved, like a preset that I would fade in and out, and it was just like layered vocals. Sounded like something out of like a Christmas movie or something.
Oh.
Every time
Really?
I would like, yeah, it always reminded me of like some Christmassy music for some reason. I don't know why. But I would fade it in and out before we would actually start playing. Each time I would play the lead guitar part, and then, you know, the crash comes in and the song starts, and it's like a rock song basically.
And
Yes.
let's not forget Seb's bass solo at the end.
Oh yeah, we have a sparkling, shining solo from our boy Sebi on the bass. At the end of the
Wonderful.
song.
Right at the end
It's
of
so beautiful. It's like he wrote it, I think, just like on a whim and
Yeah, I
played
think we're
it
just
one day.
messing around in
And
rehearsal one day.
yeah, and we were like,
now it's
whoa.
just, we have to do it every time.
Yeah. We love it.
Yeah, and also another thing, just about the way this was made. The last EP we put out, which has two songs, "Leaf in the Wind" and "Giant Shadows," the two songs, the way we sort of put it together was that they would flow into each other, and that's something we've been doing more. So we kind of did that with this one, also with Stars and Something in the, and thinking about like composed like bigger. Just, like, but yeah, this is a very October-November vibe from this music.
definitely.
Oh yeah.
And so the fact that we're releasing it around the time we made it, or at least started it, and all the memories associated with that, I think is
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's so. I love
it's
that.
like a flannel album.
Oh my God,
For sure. Striped
Yeah.
Sweater album.
striped sweater
Big
on.
time.
Sweater
I love
times.
that. Mm-hmm.
So, what band or artist influences do you think you can hear the most on the CP?
Oh my gosh. Good question. What were we listening to in fall of 2018? Hold on, I'm pulling up my Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
The mic-
playlist.
You have a playlist?
Oh, I have all of my like seasonal playlists saved forever on Spotify.
Oh my god, that's so smart. I just switch mine up. Like I delete stuff and then I just
Still have one
re-upload it.
from fall 2017.
Are you
Like,
serious?
I'm on that vibe.
I need to do that
Wow.
more. Yeah.
It's great. Okay, so fall 2018.
I know the microphones because there's a
Absolutely. Yeah.
microphone from Stars.
Uh-huh.
Originally, I think the lyric was listening to Phil Elverum, but then we had to be like, maybe that's too like explicit. So now
Oh yeah.
it says
I remember
"Felt by
that.
Size" or something.
I had
like
originally written listening to Phil Elverum as one of the verse lines, and Itai was like, "No, we can't call him out like that."
what if he
and I
doesn't
was like,
like?
"Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
but I wanna."
Yeah, but and then like Grouper for sure for Stars,
Oh yeah.
and for just Snail Mail I think was relatively recent. That Snail Mail
Mhm.
album.
Oh, okay.
Was it
October
Lush?
2018.
Yeah, Lush came out like right. I think
Yeah,
in the
so-
summer, right before that,
So
right?
Chelsea's
Definitely Lush. Yeah.
Snail Mail influence.
We were listening to the Shacks. We were
Oh,
listening
yeah.
to let's see, a little bit of Jerry Paper.
hmm
Frankie Cosmos has always been
Mhm.
like
Definitely.
at least for writing for me. I think for Itai too for writing. She credit is amazing. I don't know. Who else were we listening to? Maybe Pickle-It? Were we listening?
Pickle-It? Yeah, I was.
Pickle-It?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right around then.
A little
yeah.
bit around that time.
And Nick Drake always in the
Oh, yeah.
fall for me, and like I think
Yellow Tango.
probably for this EP. Oh yeah, Yellow Tango. I mean, our first EP had the art was pretty much inspired by Yellow Tango.
Yeah.
Painful.
It looks exactly like Painful.
Wait, do you want to see that? I have the album. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. But yeah, it's like here, look.
Do you collect records?
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
that's
kinda
so
cool.
pretty.
And yeah, it's
Cool.
So we
That's
kind of
so
wanted the first EP to look like this a little bit.
Nice.
Mhm.
So basically, ripped it off completely.
No.
At least you're admitting to it.
No.
That's okay.
No.
Inspired by.
Heavily inspired. Exactly.
Very, very, very inspired by it to the point where it almost looks the exact same,
Allegedly.
But it doesn't.
but it
I
doesn't.
didn't say
Who's
that.
to say?
It's a
Exactly.
painting.
Exactly.
We didn't make it.
Is
It's a
Georgia
painting.
gonna sue me?
Yes.
Georgia,
Yes.
sue me, please.
Wait,
It would be
Georgia,
an
the-
honor.
It's a notice.
It's a notice.
Yeah.
hmm
I think Grouper really big influence on
Mhm.
Stars and Something in the Making especially.
Or
Because
like Florist too. I think we were
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to Florist.
I remember when we were making Stars and when it kind of started actually being a song that made sense in a way. I think Gabby was just like, "This is the music I've always wanted to make."
Mhm.
It's like we just I don't think any of us has ever made something like quite that,
hmm
Okay.
and we were just all kind of like, "Whoa, like what?"
What?
We can do it.
We can do it.
What?
We can do it.
Oh shit.
Wonderful. All right. So this question should go like super, super fast. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words, off the top of your head, as fast as you can.
Wait,
Don't
like each
stress,
of us,
though.
one at a time.
Each of you, yeah, one at a
Word
time,
everyone.
Okay, Itai, you
or
go
all at
first.
once.
and then
Is
Seb,
it
and
is
then
it
I'll go.
3 words like one
3
a
words.
sentence, or it's just 3 different words?
Whatever
It
comes to
could
your
be
head
whatever
first.
you want.
Quick,
Mhm.
Okay,
answer
I'm
it.
thinking about it too hard. Okay,
Do it.
dream, fall, sad.
Okay.
That's good. I like dreams.
Okay,
That's a good one.
Seb, go next.
Yeah.
Hyphenated New York.
Okay,
Um,
that's 1.
Before
Oh.
Winter, the second one,
Nice.
and good.
Good. Okay, is before winter hyphenated also?
Yes, always.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, works. True. hmm
Mine would be probably depressing,
Oh.
leaves,
hmm
and harmonies. Ooh.
Harmonies. Ooh.
Okay.
I like
Wait,
that.
can I do mine again real quick?
Sure.
Sure.
Chelsea Stars Situm.
Situm.
Situm, something in the making. That's the acronym.
Oh.
I was hoping you were just gonna hyphenate a bunch of words.
Yeah.
Do I care about 3 words?
An entire essay.
Mhm. Just all hyphenated.
Yes.
That'd be great.
So this EP isn't even out yet. But are you guys working on anything new? What can you tell us about it? Anything? At
Anything.
all?
Are you writing?
We're all kind of doing our own thing because Gabby's in like New York now. You're in New York, right?
I'm in Saratoga Springs.
Yeah,
Hello.
so we just can't. We want to keep doing stuff, and we're definitely at some point going to try to do something again. But it's just been a while. And yeah, we're all doing our own.
Yeah, living our lives, working, quarantining,
Yeah, we haven't, because you guys went to England last year, so we haven't really played together since September of 2018, 2019,
Oh
I
wow.
think.
God damn.
Yeah.
It's been a
It's
while.
been forever.
Yeah. And then 2020 got in the way, and now we're all living our 2020 lives.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couch surfing.
Yep.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah, we
good
actually
life.
We actually went to England to visit Tom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
So we-
Tom recorded drums and vocals and probably a little bit of keyboard and a little bit of guitar.
He did a little bit
Tom
of
does
everything.
Everything.
And he also
yeah.
just recorded, like he helped us because he
Mhm.
probably knew more about recording than any of us for that first EP.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
For that first EP, so that first EP, I mean, Tom was really integral to that. So in a way, he's like the fourth moon,
Yeah,
It's the
a little
Tom
bit.
B.
Yeah.
moon or something.
Uh-huh.
Because I think we determined Gabby's the bi, Gabbo's the bi,
Mhm.
and I'm the second.
We all know why.
No, I don't know why.
Okay.
But I'm the second moon, and Seb is the first moon. But then Tom would be like maybe the
He's the last
smiley
bi
face
moon.
at the end or something. But yeah, because Tom was really like a huge part of the band, and it's unfortunate that I've been telling him like move to the U.S. for a long time.
no.
And he says
He
no,
would
it's a
not
terrible
be
country.
doing
He
that.
won't.
He said he,
Yeah, as
oh,
you
no,
should.
not right now, but in
Uh-uh.
general, you know.
Mhm.
Oh.
I don't think Tom
Oh.
should move to the U.S.
Maybe visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he said
maybe
he
a
would come
visit.
at some point. He did
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tom
He's
is
visited
like
previously.
cool, and
Aw.
we love him, and so we went to visit him in England and hung out with him.
Oh.
Yeah, Tom's project,
Shout out, Tom.
shouts out Firesight.
Parasites.
He's putting out new music like every week now. He just put out 2 freaking music videos in a week.
Jesus.
He got on the BBC.
He
Take a
goes
nap.
ham
Yeah.
on that.
He
Yeah,
got on the BBC, which is crazy.
I know.
Oh my God.
It's so
Holy shit.
I lost
Firesight.
it.
Check it out. It's like
Big
it's
things
like
for Tom.
sad
Radiohead.
Radiohead,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
like really good and
Holy
a
shit.
little electronic, and he's great, and we love him.
That's very cool.
That's so
Stream
cool.
Chemicals and Fool's
Mm.
Spring by Firesight.
Panda.
on
Watch the
Spotify.
panda video.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
We love
Wait, look,
it.
I have a panda too.
Nice.
oh my god. I love them.
This
love
episode is
them
sponsored
so
by Panda.
Yes.
The
What's the
animal,
panda's name?
Bye, Panda.
the pandas, the animals got together to raise money and sponsor this episode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Solid.
They're working
Yeah.
9 to 5.
Good to know. So, where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years? It's a pretty big question.
Can't even.
5 years is such a long time.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what
know.
I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's valid.
I'm focused on
Hopefully,
this
Mm.
and this Orangina that I'm drinking right now.
Ooh.
Hopefully out of quarantine.
Yeah,
That'd be
hopefully
good.
playing
If we could do-
shows, hopefully recording music. I would love to keep making music as a group. I think
Mhm.
we make good stuff together, and I think it's worth pursuing still. Like, after all this time, we're still doing it. We're still getting our shit together and putting stuff out. It's so easy
Yeah.
to just not, but we are.
Yeah.
I think since it's been kind of a little while, we were all maybe sort of like unsure about the band and stuff like that. But then we kind of got back and like, or we kind of listened to this music from a while ago, and we were just like, wait, like that's
This
crazy
is
that we
good,
made that.
yeah.
And like I feel like sometimes you find people in the world to work with and make stuff, and it's like works really well, or it's like you make stuff and it's worth keep doing that.
Okay.
But yeah, don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minion
Minion
Yeah,
Cup.
Minion Cup.
Actually, this
Is that Bob?
This is just so that people can see, because we talked about it in the chat right before we started, but this is the Minion Cup, and I'm
Minion
drinking.
Cup. As
Actually,
you should.
I lied. This episode is sponsored by the Minions because we were chatting about the Minions a lot before the episode started.
Oh,
What
Yes.
do they say? The
banana.
Banana.
Mm-hmm.
Baba Booey.
Hallelujah.
Baba Booey.
I just remembered I had a dream. I think I talked to Howard Stern in my dream last night and said Baba Booey.
You're gonna be on the Howard Stern show next. That's the
Oh
next
my god,
interview.
don't go on that show. He's
Yeah,
so
no,
mean.
please
That-
don't.
He's so mean.
That's the next interview for you guys, going
Wait,
from
you're
the Good
telling
News
me
podcast
if
to.
you were invited
Howard
to go on
Stern.
Howard Stern, you wouldn't go?
I would go
No,
on
he
Howard
would
Stern.
rip us to shreds.
I would go on
I would
Howard Stern.
cry.
I would go.
Definitely.
I would tell you to stay home, Glory. I would handle that interview by
I would-
myself.
I would
Oh my
cry.
God.
Baba
Yeah.
Booey. I would say flop,
Oh my
flop,
God.
float. And then he wouldn't know what to say. He would say, fuck you, I'm mean, or whatever. I guess
What
because.
are we talking?
And then I'd say, Baba Bo Hi.
Ended them.
And you got him. Mhm.
Yeah. And then I'd walk
Just
off.
hang up.
As you
So,
should.
I think
Hang
we've
up.
been. I think we've been off this topic for a hot minute, but we're gonna shift away from music entirely and go straight to
Okay.
death row. So,
Boom.
if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Even bigger boom.
Boom.
My
Zero
last meal?
hmm
Oh
With a
my
drink.
God.
Don't forget your last drink as well.
Yeah, my drink would be an oat milk cappuccino with cinnamon.
Ooh. Oh my god,
And-
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it would have to be breakfast. It would have to be either a French omelet or eggs Benedict.
Ooh, eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
Taste. hmm
Ooh.
Sorry. I have the best one, and you guys haven't even said yours
Yeah.
yet.
Something so controversial yet so brave.
Mm.
I'm an egg fiend. My next
Eggs are-
tattoo, I have decided, will be an egg.
It'll be an egg, like in the shell,
Will it
or
be an
just
egg
like
or-
a cracked egg.
I think maybe like egg in cast iron or something.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Are you getting an
Really?
egg or a gabbo egg?
Just an egg. I mean, it will
Okay.
be a Gabbo egg by being on
Mhm.
my body, I feel.
I think the first time I ever met Gabbo, I took a picture of her on Snapchat and drew an egg around her head.
I still have that picture. It's good.
Wow.
Yeah, just so you
It's a
guys
good
know.
pic.
That's really interesting.
You
That's
know.
really cool.
I love
Last meal, I just a few weeks ago, I got like Italian food from this place, and I'm not usually a big guy for mushroom, but it was like the best mushroom ravioli. It was like so creamy and
Ooh.
good with like sauce, and it was like just amazing. So I would have that,
Mm.
and beverage, cyanide maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
Go out on my own terms. You know,
that's
what I
a
Alright.
twist. Okay.
twist
He
it.
said, "Give me the poison.
Exactly. I'll take it myself.
that would
Let
hurt.
me
probably.
do it."
That would probably
Yeah.
hurt going down. So maybe
I'm
is
not
there a
sure
better
whether
way?
it would be easier or harder than actually being like put to death.
Yeah, they do lethal injection. Probably
Yeah.
harder,
Mhm.
but I get to do it, so it's like an epic own to the government.
Yeah, you get to do it at your own time as well.
You know what I mean? Owned. Fuck you guys! Wait, can I curse?
Yes.
Should I not?
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
good.
Fuck you guys!
I have a
There you
strict
go.
no editing policy anyway, so it would have been way too late
Like,
at that
what's
point.
your last meal? I'm
Oh
like
my God.
cyanide. Blah, 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 I'm crazy.
Whoa.
Bad. Seb, what would your last meal be?
Yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna go with the build your own pizza lunchable
Mhm.
and the tap water from Ita's Minion Cup.
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
That's a really
Yeah, that's
all right.
such a good answer.
good
Gabbo.
one.
Seb just beat you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know he did.
Get out of
Spoke
here.
too soon.
You did.
I'll just
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Baggo.
This interview's over, actually. We're done.
I'm gonna go.
Alright. So, if you guys could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh my god. Tamriel probably. Or
Really?
yeah, oh my god.
Life is hard in Tamriel. That's life is short. You
I
have to
would
get
literally do what I want to do already. I would be a farmer.
married.
Okay? Like I don't have to get involved in the dragons. I can just
Yeah, but
watch.
People die
Is
of
that just
diseases
fine?
and stuff.
I just want to have a dog, maybe
Yeah.
some horses.
I would want to be an airbender. I think
Oh, that'd be sick.
Ooh, Airbender.
I would want to do that. Be a monk.
Taste. hmm
Seb?
Yeah, Seb.
The Wii Fit World.
Nice.
That's
Oh.
solid.
That's a good one. We haven't
You
gotten
want to
that
hook
one.
up with the
Fit?
trainer? Yeah,
Oh my
Seb wants to
God.
hook up with the trainer.
No.
I mean, as you should.
Yoga all day.
It's weird. Like,
It's those pants.
do you get the balance
Mhm.
board also?
I
Or
am the
that-
balance board, actually.
Yo, no.
I'm the little animated one that just waves all
Yeah,
day.
that's a good one because
Mhm.
then you could like do tennis, you could do frisbee golf, you could do the island flyover whenever you
Uh-huh.
wanted. They have like a sick.
Don't you get a
We
dog
roll
in the
the
back
set.
of your
Wait,
plane
no,
in
the
that?
Yeah,
flyover,
of course.
that's
Okay.
you're thinking of Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah,
Oh.
do you not think that Seb would have access to the resort by living in Wii World?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or are they
It's all
two different
connected.
universes?
Is it all
Yeah.
of Wii World
Oh,
or
it's
just
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's
It's
just
Amazing.
the,
all of Wii World.
he's just the balance board and gets to hook up with the trainer. So this is this is a win. He takes the cake on this
Wait,
question
you like
as well.
the trainer to like step on you or something like that?
Oh,
Quarantine's been long.
All
Yeah,
right.
but you-
And
just real
so
quick, the only issue is you don't have opposable thumbs. So how are you going to fly the plane? You're just a board.
whoa.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, sorry to
Exactly.
interrupt.
Give him time.
Dream crusher.
so I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we have spoken to have said it's the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Yellow.
Solid.
Taste, as it should be. Best color. Mm-hmm.
Queens.
Itai?
I don't like this question.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot of judgment involved, isn't there?
No, it's not
No.
that. It's like I feel like my general answer, but now I feel like you're not gonna like this answer. But my general
Answer it.
my general answer is like they're all good in different contexts. In the same
Mhm.
way that I couldn't pick like a favorite musical note because it doesn't
Yeah.
really make any sense.
Mhm.
But it used to be, and the other answer is black and white, but that's also not a color.
Mhm.
So maybe blue.
Blue. Blue's good.
I just appreciate the fact that you answered it because we have gotten a couple people that have just said, I don't pick favorites, and then we had to leave it at that because they just wouldn't tell us.
Yeah.
I don't like it when people say I don't pick
At
favorites.
least, you
That's-
know,
that's a
like,
cop
have
out.
fun with it.
I'm like,
Everyone
just
Exactly.
picks
tell me you
Just
like
admit
black. Like,
Yeah.
if
It's
that's,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Seb?
The glow in the dark green color.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Oh,
That's a
neon.
great one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Taste.
So, as I said, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
We have an
Stream
EP.
our EP, yeah.
What were you gonna plug?
Stream Firesights, I was gonna say. Stream Itai, stream Gabo, stream Moon by Moon, stream I don't know.
Shout out Christina Applegate.
Yeah,
Mhm.
always.
Always. Every day.
Uh-huh.
I
Period.
shout her so she gets some exposure from that maybe.
We're putting out new stuff and we're excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
That's
an
all I
EP.
have to say about
You can
that.
get tapes. There's gonna be tapes.
Oh yeah.
You can get
Limited
tapes.
run.
Very limited run, but you can get them. They're gonna be really nice and cool. If not, there's a video. You can watch the Stars video. It will be out in November, and the EP pending release date is November 20th. So you can listen to it
Very
and send us
exciting.
your money if you want.
Jazz hands. I'm doing jazz hands. Yes! Jazz hands on the stream!
Let's go!
Good job, everyone!
Good job. Good
That's
job.
where we're going to leave it. So thank you for sitting down with us, guys. This has been Moon by Moon, and we are the Good Noise Podcast.
Thank you guys so much for having us.